Hello everyone, my name is Aimee from the Projector movement, and today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the most important centers in our chart, which is our identity center, or you might like to call it the G center. Now, this is the home of direction, of love, of identity. This is literally the place of our soul. So you might hear this spoken about in terms of a magnetic monopole. And so what this means in a nutshell is this is like a magnet. This is literally a magnet for us. And it's where we draw in life and love and beauty. And it's so important to know that when we love ourselves, we are drawing in more love, and we are realizing that we are love as well. We are giving that love. We are radiating that love out there into the world. So let's get into some shadow aspects of this center. And now I have identified pretty much with every shadow aspect of the identity center. Mine is undefined, and it can be very easy to believe that that is who you are. You believe that you are the shadow of the center, which is definitely not the case, but it can be something that we experience. So in the shadow frequency of the center, there's this real need to fit in, this real need to find our purpose and find our direction. And we get fixated on kind of putting ourselves into a box or labeling ourselves or trying to force ourselves into a category because we want to fit in so badly. We're forever questioning if we're going in the right direction and how we're going to get there and what does this look like? Who am I? I don't know who I am. All of these things can surface from the shadow aspect of this center. And when we don't realize it's a shadow, when we just think this is who we are and how we operate, life can feel really difficult, and we can feel like we're not good enough and that, we're not worthy enough. And there's just so much that can surface from this particular shadow aspect. But we also have a high expression of this center, as with anything in human design. So let's get into a little bit of that, and then we'll move into what this might look like if you are defined or undefined in the center. Now, in the high expression of the center, you feel really safe in knowing who you are, or you feel really safe in not knowing who you are, and you're okay with kind of not knowing, and you're all right with the fluidity that this can bring, and you welcome that, and that is a part of your life that you have accepted, and you have this deep trust in the universe that things are always working out as they should. Otherwise, they wouldn't be working out that way. Even if things aren't feeling amazing, or if things seemingly don't feel like they are going in the right direction, you still have that deep trust. So that is a beautiful high expression of this center. Now, what does it look like if you are defined here? It looks like you have a really strong sense of who you are, and you understand that, yes, you are different to other people, and that is something to be celebrated, that you're not here to dim your light so that you can just fit in everywhere. You have this way of being and this way of expressing yourself and this way of loving yourself that people are really, really drawn to. You have this beautiful ability to evolve and grow internally without needing to change everything about you on the outside, because you're not searching for that external validation. You're not worrying about that. You're just really comfortable with who you are and where you're going. And You don't even need to know how you're going to get there, wherever it is you're going. You just know that's exactly where you're going to go. So you have that deep trust in the universe as well. You don't seem to change yourself in the presence of others, which is amazing, so beautiful. It's something that I would love to experience for a day. Of how does that feel to be so sure of who you are, and knowing that who cares if you're around all of these different groups of people, that you are you and that you love yourself for that. And people will be really drawn to that. There's that magnetic monopole coming into play, that you're so steadfast in who you are, and that is literally drawing in people and experiences and life and love. If you do have a defined G center and it is connected to your throat, you can be vulnerable to criticism here as well, because what you're putting out there into the world, you're literally giving the world your heart and soul. And if it is not received well by someone else, maybe you've put it out there because you wanted external validation for some particular reason, and it doesn't land well, and someone lets you know that, it can really, really hurt. Like, it's soul crushing. So knowing that you're moving from a place of love and that you're putting things out there into the world to give love is really important for you if your G center is connected to your throat, because it will be then received well, because it is literally just from this pure place of love. Literally, you don't need someone else to verify it for you, or you're not seeking that external validation. You're just putting it out there so that it's radiating out into the world and that other people can receive this from you. So if you are undefined in your G center, like I am, there is this ability to constantly morph and change who we are, and know that it's safe to do this. We don't feel like we have to be a certain way, a certain person, look a certain way all the time. We have this ability to morph and change. And if we are trusting in the universe, if we're trusting in ourselves, we're loving ourselves, this is so much easier, because a lot of shadow can come in through the center when it is undefined or open. A lot of conditioning as well. So this is something to be very aware of, the shadow aspects and how they might play out for you in your life. Now, when we are open here, we have this natural ability to see into someone else quite deeply, because we're not fixed on who we are. So we can see someone else in their way, in their light, and we can really understand them on a personal level, which makes people feel really safe and really cared for. So being in the right environment with an undefined G center is going to be very, very important, because if we are feeling like we are surrounding ourselves with people that don't love us and we don't feel safe, and it's just wrong place, wrong people, wrong time, the opportunities are going to fall short of landing next to us, because our magnet's literally been turned around and it's pushing things away. So it's really important that we are in this environment that we love. We can curate this environment for ourselves where we feel safe, we feel loved, we feel like we can love ourselves, and we feel like the people around us are really supportive and loving of us as well. And this leads me really beautifully into the fact that if you are undefined here, we can really question if we are lovable as well. This is because we are constantly kind of changing, I guess, who we are. And when we are changing who we are, this can change how we like to receive love from others too. So we're thinking, oh, am I even lovable? Now I need this, or now I need this. Now it feels different. And our self-esteem can really, really crash. And This is so true for children or teenagers that have got this identity center undefined, questioning their lovability and leading into that really low self-esteem, which we can carry into adulthood as well. So this is a center which needs a lot of awareness and a lot of love. And if this is bringing up anything for you, if you're going, oh, wow, okay, this is really making a lot of sense from when I was younger, or an experience that you've had perhaps, let yourself feel those things. If it's too much and you need support with moving through this, please seek out support for that. But know that you are 100%, 1,000,000% lovable and worthy, even if how you like to be loved or how you need to be loved changes along with who you are on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. This is all okay for you. It's just finding your center, finding your love of self, and things will radiate out from there for you. So with the undefined G center as well, it's almost like we get to try on other people's auras and other people's identities without thinking that we need to literally live in their closet, so to speak. We just get to try something on and go, oh, that feels good. Okay, I kind of like that. And then, all right, we can give that back. All right, I might take on a few aspects of that for myself because that feels good. It's not about taking on someone else's full identity. And something I like to do with this, which might be helpful for you, is to watch a movie and see if you're really drawn to any particular character. And then once that movie has ended, are you believing that you are them, that this is how you're going to live your life now? You're going to change everything about your life so that you can be this particular character? Because is that actually going to work for you? Is that actually what you want? Or is it just little bits and pieces about that particular character that you really liked, that you can kind of carry through with you into your life, instead of believing that this is the way forward, this is how I'm going to find direction, this is how my life is going to be, this is exactly who I am? Because we're not meant to be fixed in who we are. We get to try on these bits of auras and these parts of people that we really resonate with, and we leave what doesn't resonate, and we form our own character in that way, and know that we are kind of forever changing and we are really mutable. And this might be the case when we're around certain people as well. We might take on their identities, or maybe you find yourself kind of taking on someone else's accent as well, if you're open here, because you're really seeing into them, like you are really feeling that other person. So there's such beautiful sides to both the defined and undefined identity center here. And something that is really great to do, whether or not you have gates here or not, is to actually look into each of the gates on the center and what they mean and what they express, because so many of them are all about self-love and love of the body and love of others and self-expression. And it just shows how powerful this center is. And if you have gates here, lean into those and see what energies it's bringing into you. Even if your center is undefined, but you still have the gates, you're still experiencing those energies. And if you are completely open here, know that you will experience all of these energies when you are around people that have these particular gates, or people that are defined in the center, or when things are transiting through this particular center as well. So we will all feel all of it. It just depends on what scale. If you're defined, you'll feel it consistently, all the time, consistent. If you're open here, then it's going to morph and it's going to change. But please know that this is a really powerful center, and that self-love, love of self in a non-self-absorbed way, is a really beautiful thing to lean into with this center.